All right, good morning, traders. Today is February 5th, 2024. My SPY pivot this morning, 493.36. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. SPY, QQQ, and Diamond Dow all made new all-time highs on Friday, while FNGU made a new 20-month high on Friday. All of the Fab 5 are still in bullish uptrends. IWM closed under a bearish trap and under the 17 EMA. Gold maintains its bull flag, closed inside the trap over the 17 EMA and over, don't know about over the downtrend line. I don't think that was true. Okay, SPY remains bearish, closed the day below the trap, below the 17, and spiking the daily downtrend. UNG and USO closed below the bearish trap and below the 17 EMA. Still trying to hang on to the uptrends. US dollar index closed above the flat 200 SMA and is currently breaking out of the current bull flag that it's in. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. All right, so here's SPY putting in new all-time highs yesterday. I still think it's on a journey up to 500. We are getting some headwinds with the dollar spiking Friday and this morning, so we'll see what happens. Maybe a pullback. We'll see. This could be a bad breakout. We'll see what happens here. But here's SPY pulling up to trying to challenge the 500, making new all-time highs. QQQ. All right, new all-time highs, higher low, higher high, closing above the trap. Over the trend indicator, new all-time highs for QQQ. Diamond Dow, same thing. Higher low, higher high. New all-time high for Diamond Dow, closing over the trap, over the trend indicator. FNGU. FNGU, higher low, higher high, just like the others. Making a new 20-month high. If you pan back here, you can see we're all the way up over almost a 2-year high right there. Got that little wick up there to contend with. But here's FNGU, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the trend indicator, and still bullish. IWM, okay, a little bit different here. Closed under the bearish trap, spiking the uptrend line, and underneath the 17 EMA trend indicator. Let's take a look at our technicals. Now these are for Friday. Friday's technicals. We came down in here to the chop zone and just chopped around between the seller's chop zone and the buyer's chop zone almost all day. If you notice, we put in higher lows, and out of those higher lows, bulls were inspired to make the higher high. So there's T21.22. T21.23 had a little pullback, and then you can see after that pullback, green all day on T21.23. T21.23 3-bar trend indicator and price kind of closed the gap that was open. And you can see now price action is now putting in a higher low. So there'll be pressure on the bulls to produce that higher high up here. You can see we got some space now starting to open up between trend indicator and price action on T21.23. FNGU started out green. Look at the space between those trend indicator balls on the 15. Anyways, started out green, ended green, so they just slammed it all day long. And I think in the pre-market here, we're up, well, it looks like we're up here over the highs of Friday. So we'll see what happens here. FNGU is still on fire. Let's take a look at this. Let me see what we got here. See if I can pull this over and take a look at the dollar index. All right, so here's our dollar index. Here's the July low. Here's the October high. Here's the November failure. This would be the October high. It's November failure to make a new high. right there. So we came all the way down and started testing minor support right through here and here. Then we came down, kept going. Now we're in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. Okay, now we're down here testing major support down in here. And you can see we came down to the major support area in this area, and then bounced off of major support back to back up here to catch some minor resistance. Made a bull flag, pulled up another bull flag, had a breakout, and then we consolidated into another bull flag under the flat 200. And now you can see we're back up here to catch some of the major resistance up here, because we're now underneath it. So this no longer becomes minor support. It now becomes major resistance. So you can see here's the breakout. We'll see how far they want to take it. So bullish dollar is bad for the market because it makes our goods and services more expensive across in foreign nations. And of course that kind of cuts back on the GDP revenue. And we'll see what happens with that. So that would be bad for the markets if the dollar got bullish. All right, but everything seems to be still in an uptrend at this time. Let's take a look at what Max Payne's going to be for today, and we'll see what that's coming out to be. Okay, Max Payne for the 5th is 487. I don't think they're going for that. We do have 3 puts to every call. Could be a continued short squeeze. We'll see what happens. That's Max Payne for today, February 5th. And we'll take a look at our economic calendar. And on our economic calendar, what do we have? Powell had a 60-minute interview last night, in case you didn't see it. And he kind of indicated, because I watched it, that even if CPI does spike a little bit, all right, he's not going to hike rates. All right, so he wants to see really more good news. That's what I saw out of the interview. He just wants to see more good data come out. And if things do happen to spike up a little bit, he doesn't foresee any more rate hikes in the future. He does foresee some rate cuts coming in the middle of summer. He kind of indicated more towards August, September, kind of late summer. But who knows what kind of data they're going to get. I know they certainly don't want to see deflation. And they'll have to fight that off, but I don't think they're in any danger of needing to fight off deflation. So nice work for Powell threading the needle, keeping us out of recession. It is still tough on American families. The wages really don't compensate for the inflation that we just experienced. PMI composite final coming out at 9:45. ISM Services Index at 10 a.m. And another Fed speaker, Mr. Bostic, is going to speak at 2 p.m. Tuesday, just a lot of Fed speakers. None of them are Mr. Powell. Nothing else is happening. Wednesday, we've got international trade goods at 8:30. EIA petroleum status at 10:30. And again, a whole lot more Fed speakers. None of them are Mr. Powell. Consumer credit is going to come out at 3 p.m. Thursday, what do we have? Jobless claims. So we're going to look at some employment numbers at 8:30. A gas report at 10:30. Another Fed speaker. And that's it for Thursday. Friday, Baker Hughes rig count. That's coming out at 1 p.m. Really, really a light week. Consumer credit, that might be something to watch, that, because as consumers borrow more money, American households to keep up with inflations. Now, when Mr. Powell was speaking, he kind of indicated we're not going to see prices come down. We're just not going to see them rise as fast as they have been. So we'll see what happens. All right. So consumer credit, I think Americans are borrowing more money now than they've ever borrowed before, and those wages just aren't there to reflect that. So we could. He didn't see another housing crisis, but he didn't talk about credit card debt either. And I think that's something maybe we should start taking a look at. Is we could have a credit card debt come out pretty soon that could affect some of these credit card companies. I don't really see a way to pay that back unless people borrow from their houses. So we'll see what happens with that. That's the economic numbers. Now let's take a look at some of our earnings numbers. So here we are with earnings for Monday. We got Mickey D's. All right. The Big Mac is going to report this morning at 216 with 216 billion. All right. It's going to report this morning before 9:30. And they got 216 billion. Caterpillar's going to report 156 billion. Vertex Pharmaceutical, 100 billion right there. They're going to report this evening. For tomorrow, Eli Lilly, wow, they're pretty big, much bigger than I expected. 633 billion, that's almost half a trillion there. Okay, they're going to report tomorrow morning. Toyota Motor Company, 279 billion, they're going to report tomorrow evening. Linde, they're going to report tomorrow morning, 200 billion. And Amgen, they're going to report in the evening, 172 billion. UBS, which is I think banking, 103 billion. They're going to report if they can find their P&L. BP, they're about 100 billion. They're going to report in the morning as well. Gilead, 95 billion. They're going to report in the evening. So there we are for Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, let's see if we got any big ones coming up. Okay, Alibaba is going to report 184 billion. They're going to report on Wednesday morning. Who else coming out? When Uber's going to report on Wednesday morning, 140 billion. CBS, about 100 billion there. They're going to report on Wednesday morning. And Wednesday evening, Disney, Mickey Mouse, is going to give us the report for Disney World or Disney Enterprises right there. That's about 177 billion right there. And then, of course, we got PayPal's coming out on Wednesday evening. Let's see what we got for Thursday. Nothing really major, but these are still some big companies. Philip Morris, S&P Global, ConocoPhillips, Unilever, AstraZeneca, all of those, Duke Energy, those are big guys, but they're just not the notables that we are looking for in the tech sector. Let's take a look at Friday. PepsiCo is going to report about 235 billion. They're going to report in the morning. So there we go with that. So let's go back and take a look at some of our other charts. Mainly, I want to look at IWM because I did catch something. Seems like UPS is in a downtrend and FedEx is in a downtrend. So I want to look at IYT. All right, so IYT is in this big bull flag. And, of course, they did not break out yesterday. They did get up there. They did poke into those highs. See that? Just a little bit, but really couldn't get going. So, but still in a bull flag, but not making new all-time highs. Of course, you can see where the the all-time highs are up here. Let me just say they're getting close. All right, they're getting close. And with the news that Mr. Powell gave, if the market put in another higher low, I could definitely see IYT getting on board and shooting up to challenge those highs. Maybe not this month. Maybe come April or May. I see that for IYT. Right now, they're still in a bull flag. They're still looking good. They could strike at any time. Let's take a look at SMH. Now, of course, SMH did not make new all-time highs, but still very bullish, making higher lows, higher highs. Now put in another higher low here, and that we'll see if the bulls are going to get inspired to make that higher high, or if they're just going to bull flag it out. So we'll see there. SMH, XLF. So here's our financials. So we pretty much got through earnings season unfazed in the XLF, which is kind of amazing, really. You can see here's XLF on the daily chart, and XLF still bullish, closing over the trap, over the trend indicator. Everything's still bullish. Let's see if it's going to make a higher high here from this pullback low right there. It has made the higher high. We'll see if it now just bull flags and can hold this area. So there's XLF looking fantastic. IYT really not looking that bad, but would have liked to see after about a month of consolidation, almost 2 months, would have liked to seen that breakout with the rest of the market. Just not ready yet. Just not ready yet. Okay. So there we are with the morning numbers and conditions. I'll take questions in the room, and if there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and render my video.